So what I'm thinking for this week, we'll kind of, because I think more people are going to show up partly, we'll kind of move through, and I kind of want to ask a few questions, basically just like what a goal is of yours for this year, which may sound kind of cheesy, but I think it's cool because kind of knowing what each other's working towards, we can know how to like help each other out towards those goals. And then something that you think is maybe in the way or holding you back potentially from achieving that goal. So that's kind of one thing I'd like to ask everyone. So anyone who has something that they want to play, we'll give them a chance to play that. We'll probably just do one thing because I want to move through real quick, and then later when we're all just kind of hanging out, we can pass the aux around with some more or whatever, play some more stuff, maybe cook something up real quick, and just kind of hang out, because we all usually pretty much want to hang out and chat for a while afterwards anyways, just about whatever's going on or somebody's song or whatever. So kind of going to leave some time for that at the end, but I want it to not just be come up and like show off your latest thing and then go sit back down, because I want to get to know what you guys are working on. Oh, there's a couple things coming up too. So this Thursday, back here again from 5 to 8, if you can make it. It's going to be more of making music and networking or whatever, but it'll be more just kind of hanging out and working on some stuff. Last time was a lot of fun. Erik brought his guitar and we made some stuff, and yeah, there was like 8 or 10 people maybe or something hanging out. I think we're pretty much set up though. Yeah, introduce yourself.
I'm Derek. I go by Orya. That's my stage name, but I've been doing music for probably like 8+, 9+ years, something like that. So I mean, I'm not like super awesome at it, but I do okay, I guess. So this is like, it's not full on mixed yet, and I had to go off of like a beat that wasn't unmastered, so it's the mastered beat over like the lyrics and stuff, so it's gonna kind of sound a bit off, but this is that one that me and Chris were working on together.
Beast on shit, yeah, I'm on that. Motherfuckers won't talk shit, but I'm on that. I ain't really hear you for talk back. Got a new song on my kick on one day. Yeah, like, I don't really do change like that. Talk online, ain't tryna get that. Do it for the people, I'm tryna get back. Star 6'9", if I call y'all back, and that's all.
And then that's the second part. But so, like I said,
I sound like Logic on this one.
it's a lot faster. It's a lot darker for typically my style. So I guess like I did kind of step out of my comfort zone on this one a little bit. But so originally like I recorded it to it in like a different key, and then I turned down the beat like 2 semitones.
Okay.
And then I just did the same with the vocals. So that's why it came out like a little bit darker, but it's in the same key.
Okay.
Even though you can like literally sing it in that same key. But I don't know.
So what was the process? So Chris sent you the beat?
Yeah, so Chris sent me the beat, and I actually wrote one prior to it, but it just fit really well within this one that he sent. So I used that as the first one, and then I'm pretty much done with the second one. I just got to do all the recording and stuff. But
Beatmaker Meetup?
Yeah,
this is it. I'm
so,
Sam. Mike.
But the thing is that like Chris is kind of like hard to get a hold of sometimes. So like I was like trying to get the unfinished thing, or like the unfinished beat, and he sent it like twice, and I guess it just never went through or something. So I was just like, fuck it, I gotta have something to show. So like I just did it over that, but.
Sounds crazy already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it sounds pretty mixed.
Yeah.
Does it really?
If you would have said nothing,
yeah,
I wouldn't have thought twice about it. Probably like.
I know the vocals probably got to come up a little bit, but I mean.
Yeah.
That's what Sherm said last time. He was like, if you wouldn't have said anything, I wouldn't have noticed. Because I did the same thing on my. I'm gonna stop saying things. I'm just gonna play it.
Just
first.
gonna play it.
Yeah, and then you can just get people's like real reaction instead of like. Oh, maybe,
Like
maybe it could
handicap.
be brought up or whatever. So, Yeah.
No, that sounded clean.
I really like the panning you did with the ad libs.
That's
Yeah.
what
I know,
Yes.
yeah.
I like that.
I
It's
tried
pretty
really
cool.
hard on that actually, like especially with the singing vocals. You know, when it got like darker and just like no percussion. I really tried panning as much as I could with it, but.
Do you, when you're coming up with ad libs or kind of some vocal processing styles, are you just trying things out, experimenting, or is a lot of the stuff you've done before and you like?
So, whenever I rap, like I know generally how I want to go about it when I rap, but when I ever do ad libs, it's like, it's always weird. Like it always just is super fucking awkward, and like, so what I do is I take about 4 or 5 takes of me just doing ad libs, and then I just cut out things that stand out too much or like I just don't like, and then I have enough in that full gap of that 4 or 5 to where it kind of, it takes up the space, but it's not overdrawn. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my process for ad libs. But
They're a good percussive tool, like especially in that song. Like your ad libs were really in the pocket, and they kind of they made those spaces like really
a little bit more easier to listen to.
Yeah,
Well,
it just flowed better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, like, even just, let alone the beat, there was a couple beat switch-ups, but the beat could have been doing the exact same thing the whole time in your ad-libs and your vocal process, like, your vocal mix changes and stuff like that. Like, keep it interesting on
And
their
that's
own.
that's what I try to do the most, is like, because I hate getting stuck when I'm ever writing. Like I hate getting stuck and feeling like I'm doing the same flow.
Yeah.
Like more than 8 bars.
Right.
Like, and everything
You definitely
after
switched it. Like
yeah. It's ridiculous.
That's good.
And I got one more here, and this one I made actually before I even met anybody here. This one I made in October. It was around like Halloween time, so it's gonna. I don't know.
Yo. Prepping on a Halloween is so nice. When everybody jocking cause they heard my flow is cold ice. It's like I rose from the dead. I got ghosts up in my head. My soul's to be fed and I forever bled cause a heart remains upon a sleeve. I hope you noticed. I flow the flowiest flow of all the flowest. I'm talking and walking and yes, I can show you this. You're python like nylon. Don't show us. It's sickening how this...
Obviously needs mastered, but I have a whole music video with it, and like, I don't know. I've been trying to find someone to edit it for me.
Okay.
But
I love the like confidence of it.
Yeah.
Like that line where you're like, I'm on the jet and they say you don't own this yet, and I'm like, just wait. Like, that's just dope. Like, it's like there's a subtlety about it because you can be like cocky and you can be confident, and I feel like I always use Jay-Z as an example of like very calm cockiness where he's like almost too chill but he's still being like very confident. And then I think like, I don't want to compare you to anyone, but like G-Eazy's done that really good where he's just like, he's not trying too hard anymore, he's kind of established. I think when an artist is first starting out, they're trying to prove it, but like you're already rapping like you're established, and that sounds sick. That comes across really clear.
Yeah, well, or even the G-Eazy song Almost Famous that he put out, which was literally when he was like almost famous. It was just like, it's cool, like, I know what's happening, and it's like, you just wait. Right.
Yeah, I like that.
But it wasn't like over the top and like claiming to be anything that it wasn't.
It was super honest. It was like, here's where I'm at, here's where I'm gonna be.
Right.
And I got that same vibe from that song. Like, here's where I'm at, but just wait.
Right. A lot of strengths in your writing, I think. Like, and I mean, not just your writing, because you're delivering everything, but it's the kind of song where I would listen to it a few more times, and every time, like, I would pick up on something.
Like it could have a genius video with the lyrics.
Yes.
And you used alliteration. Like, instead of,
Yeah.
you, like, oh my god.
with the S's.
Yeah, that was so dope.
Yeah. No, I actually, what inspired me to do that part was, I don't know if anyone knows, Watsky. But,
Oh, yeah.
Watsky, I saw him do like a
Yeah.
smash poetry one time, and it was just him just going off of S's, and I was like, damn, I want to incorporate something like that. So I just tried my hand at it.
That's
But
sick.
So, video editor. If anybody knows a video
yes, please.
I just bought a camera. Let me get good at
I
editing.
shot everything. Like, I have a $1,200 camera that I shot it with. I
Really?
just like, I don't have anyone to fucking like edit the shit.
Yeah, I don't have very good software. I've been
I
doing
didn't
one
use
shot
Windows Movie Maker.
That's what I've been using, and I'm like, I'm so fucking over that. I actually got rid of it. I was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Are you, so you're looking for someone to do it. Are you looking for like, so I know like a few people who do video stuff, but I can like get you in touch with them if you want or something like that. I don't know what their stance is on like.
I was just gonna go on
cheap
Fiverr.
work or
I was gonna
whatever.
be honest, like.
Yeah.
That's smart, actually.
That's not a bad
That's
idea.
actually a really good idea.
But I mean, I don't know. It's just been the money process. Like obviously,
For sure.
you know, I'm getting in this fucking house and
Right.
shit. So we've been broke for a fat minute. But I mean, it's
Welcome to
life.
being a musical artist.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's next, or what's kind of a big goal for this year for you?
This year, I'm gonna at least try to get into some shows. Like the first part, I want to say the first quarter of the year, I want to take, and really just kind of capitalize on making just a good set, like just songs enough to have, you know, maybe an hour-ish, you know, around there, and then just kind of like drilling and practice and like then hitting the stage and try to do some shows. So, I mean, I've done shows before, but like, you know, it just never really stuck, and I got burned on my last one, so I was like, I'm not going back. And
No,
I
we
guess
can make that happen.
yeah,
You
and
could be
I-
getting on some shows.
and I guess the place that I did my last show at where I got burned, now they're closing down, so I'm like, but
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know, like it's just been a struggle where like live shit's concerned, because I have that like notion, like when I sit and I watch someone's show, like I don't cringe, but I feel like something bad's gonna happen always. So like when I do it, you know, I get that same feeling until like the second or third song, and then like I kind of it breaks the ice for me, and then I kind of can like feel myself and like do shit. But I don't know. It's just staying on track for me.
So is that, like, I mean, as far as something that holds you back, do you feel like it's just that worry in the back of your head that might keep you from actually, like, reaching out to venues or something like that?
Yeah, well, and I you know, I don't really know who to reach out to anyways,
Yep.
but I mean, like, a big portion has been kind of my living space, because, you know, I've been just living with my folks for a while, but now that I'm getting out of there starting, you know, this year, like, I'm gonna have more time to just fucking, you know, because you got people living in the house or working graveyards in mornings, and
Yeah.
everyone's telling you shut the hell up about, you know, with your music, and it's like, it's fucking hard to make shit if you
Yeah.
can't like be loud,
For
you
sure.
know, especially for me. That's how my writing process goes. Like I write really good in the studio when it's blaring, or in like my truck when it's blaring. That's
Okay.
pretty much it. But like
Hard to do when you're living with a bunch of people.
exactly. So
Nice.
so hopefully that's gonna change this year.
Yeah. Good.
But
Those are good goals.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that stage presence is just, I hate to say it, but it's just going to take shows. It's going to take a lot of
Yeah.
shows, because anyone you've ever seen live and been like, wow, like from the second they walked out, even if they were an opener you hadn't heard of, but they were touring with the artist and they walked out, you're like, who is this guy? That person has hundreds of shows under their belt. That's why they can give off a vibe before they even speak. But those cringy ones are like, okay, it's this guy's like fifth show, and he's like introducing himself and being awkward. Like, it takes just like 50 shows under your belt till you're like, okay, and people will feel it. But people can tell when you haven't done them before. So just like start small, dude. Just like take any show you can get, even if it's a 10-minute set at a coffee shop. Like, just honestly, smaller venues are better practice because it's more intimate. And then when you get in front of 600 people, it's like, whatever. I did this in front of 6 people last week. Like, this is fine.
right.
So, reach
That's
out.
cool, guys.
We should talk too, because I want to start planning some shows in Boise. Like, now that I have connections with Death Proof and the Shredder, it's like there's no reason that we have everyone sitting in here, and like every 3 months we should be throwing a show. Or a showcase or something.
Go to shows and stuff.
A, we can make a little money, maybe $50 each if we all bring 5 people, but B, it's a chance for all of us to just perform to each other and to our like conglomerate, and I think like we should be doing
Well, yeah, which is awesome too, because as producers, from the producer side of thing, hearing your stuff live, if you have the chance, and from the performance side, obviously it's practice and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about like doing some event stuff.
Live has always sound like worse to me anyways, like just like I've always enjoyed like stuff coming from the studio or like albums
Yeah.
and stuff, but like when it goes to live, it's just like sometimes it's like, damn, I wish it sounded better. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you mean.
but it's just something I'm gonna have to work on like mentally. I feel like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Awesome.
Dude, those are good goals.
For sure.
I like it.
thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay,
So introduce yourself. real
my
quick.
name is Sam. My stage name, I guess, Sam Soul. Yeah, I make music and stuff. So
Do you wanna? You can just
You
play something if
can,
you want.
can say it with your
or-
chest. It's okay.
what I like to focus on is like kind of like I love hip hop. I'm kind of venturing into R&B a little bit, just cause I've been listening to Neptunes a whole lot this past few months, and I've been studying and trying to imitate their sound, cause they have like a certain. Cause I went into like trying to do trap and trying to do the fast drums. I'm not that really good at it. It doesn't really inspire me that much. When
More the same.
like it's really, I love listening to it, but like making it, it's kind of like it's tough for me honestly. And like so Neptune's like their sound is like really percussive and really bouncy. So I've been trying to study them and trying to craft my sound around their style of music and trying to find.
Put your own twist on it. Kind of
Huh.
thing. Put your like aspire towards them, but put your
Yeah.
own twist on it.
Yeah, because I think Pharrell and Chad Hugo are like geniuses. And yeah, this song, this beat right here, I'm trying to focus on making songs for artists because like I have my other beats from last like a few my last beats like a few beats have been trying to like putting too much into it, so I'm trying to like use minimal sounds, more percussion and stuff like that. And this one was kind of inspired by Kitty Cat by Beyonce. It's a guilty pleasure song. And
There's nothing guilty about Beyonce.
Yeah, I'll go from the I'll listen to B.I.G. and I'll go right to Beyonce.
Hell yes.
Beyonce's a queen
As
though.
you should.
Yeah. And this one's inspired by. Have you guys listened to Kitty Cat?
No. I don't know about that.
Just let it
Is an
roll.
older
Yeah.
song?
Just let it roll.
It's an older song, yeah. It's from her like second album, I think. All right.
Give it up.
Thank you. Like halfway, 3/4 in, break it down without the percussion, just the keys and stuff, and then bring it back.
Oh, okay.
Just a little
Yeah.
something to break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can suggest with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Feels too bad.
I think it seems that like it needs something because it's designed to have vocals on it. So
Right.
until it has the vocals, it's gonna sound
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah.
And as soon as like you start thinking in that mindset, it like opens up the song so much more for sure. Cause yeah, I felt the same way. And I did feel like the melody had enough simplicity, but movement like throughout, and kind of the bridge where it changed up a little bit and like smoothed out with the keys and the strings and stuff like that was cool, and kind of opens up some more opportunities for vocal changes and stuff like
Yeah. Well, you could have the vocals be the melody.
Yeah.
Instead of having
Exactly.
the instrument do it. And then the thing I really like about this, well, first of all, the drums are crispy clean.
Yeah.
So that's
the snare. I love the snare.
Yeah. But this lends itself to being played live. It sounds like there's 3 instruments: a bass, a drum, and some kind of synth, right? So
Yeah,
you
true.
could have a live crew, super easy, super cheap too. That's something you gotta think about in the music industry. It's cool to have all, a band of 8 people, but you gotta pay each of those people. So if you can have you or whoever your artist is, have a backup band, have as few people as you can. That's how people just have a DJ or a drummer and keys or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at writing bridges, like the switch up of the beat.
Mhm.
I feel like that one was too abrupt. Like
Mhm.
it was too different from the main song. Like with the Neptunes, like the bridges are really smooth, and like you don't really notice that you went from one part to a different part. So I'm trying to work on that too. And yeah, with the vocal, like I'm trying to put my mind, it's like thinking like there's gonna be artists on here. I'm trying to like use as minimal sound as possible, I guess.
Mhm.
And without not trying to limit myself, but
I can tell you as an artist, like By the way, Sam works really hard. He sent me like 4 beat packs in the last month. So.
Yeah. And he like built a website.
Yeah,
he's
he
uploading
freaking
videos.
grinds. So I want to just give him
Trying
a
to
tip
be
of
out
the cap
here.
for that. And I would have known if you'd sent me that, because that was my favorite beat you've made. And as an artist, that's what the first thing I heard was, there's space on this.
Mhm.
Like, there's space to be filled in. And especially, like, it was hard to even picture my own voice in it. I can hear, like, a female vocal on that.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah. So, that's all I really wanted to say is, like, you've sent me a lot of stuff and you've played a lot of stuff. And it's all stuff that, like, I would just listen to without vocals anyway, like Jay Dilla type, lo-fi type stuff. But that, when I heard it, I was like, that's, like, begging for lyrics. And so, like, that's my favorite one you've showed me so far.
Don't be so hard on yourself either. The reason the Neptunes sound so like perfectly transitioned is because they have vocals that you're paying attention to all the time.
Yeah,
So here
that's
you're
Yeah, but
just
you also
focusing
gotta
on
look,
looking.
also, yeah, they sound so perfect in their Neptunes, but you also gotta look, like Pharrell's first record is 92, 93, okay? He's been around for a long
Yeah,
time,
he's
perfecting
been-
his craft.
Yeah. That's
I mean, you gotta go back to Rump Shaker, that's his first big check. That's an old record. A lot of people don't even think about that. That's his first, that was his first major check. He's been around for a long freaking time.
Yeah, and I kind of want to get an artist side of things, but like still try to send music, like be a producer, I guess. I don't know. I don't try to like limit myself as a producer, I guess. I want to do like I guess what Pharrell kind of does, like singing and stuff like that. But not that good at singing. I'm trying.
I think
practicing. But
Yeah. I think that's smart though that you're just following what inspires you and what you enjoy versus like, well, everybody else is doing like trap drums or whatever. So, the tom roll, by the way.
the tongue.
We were talking about the Tom roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I play another one?
Let's see. Do you have some? Maybe you can play like a minute clip or something.
minute and a half.
We'll,
Like a minute?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I made this a while ago. Yeah, I made this one a while back. I don't remember when, but
So two
Yeah.
things about that beat that I really fucking noticed and I love how hard you're working on this. But like from the beginning, you know, like the beat introduction to when the actual instruments like come out, you can hear the beat literally open up. Like it's insane. And like especially like I love the bass, the whole bass line of that fucking song.
yeah, I was surprised I made that bass.
Yeah, like that was sick.
Back at it again.
And that was a long time ago too. Like,
No, dude, that was amazing.
All been there.
Yeah,
See, that's a good artist song. That last one, I feel like that last one was a good artist song, but I feel like it was you could take it either or. Like you can listen to it as just a plain beat, or you can record over it. It's more like singy, but that one's definitely more rap on. Like that was grade A.
Reasonable doubt right there.
For
That deserves some bars.
I guess I was gonna go for like a Dilla kind of vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And that's such a Dilla thing to have the full sample, and then when it's the verse to like bury the sample, like bury them, and then bring it back up for the hook. Like,
Definitely.
yeah, that was definitely a Dilla thing.
Talk about goal. Do you have a goal or anything for this year? Something you're trying to do?
I want to learn bass.
Oh, like bass guitar?
Yeah, I want to learn bass guitar this year and maybe acoustic, I guess. Try to sing, I guess.
Yeah.
Try to practice singing and stuff.
Sam has a
Just
song
get
on
better.
Spotify, by the way. If you haven't heard it.
Yeah,
yeah,
I sing.
vocals.
It's super.
No, it's
easy,
cool,
bro.
and it's not like I've heard. I mean, yeah, it wasn't like anything I've heard or expected, but it was in a good way. I really liked it stylistically for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad I made that song.
And like that's the thing too. You make it and you put it out there, and then like a little bit of that fear or whatever it is that's keeping you from putting stuff out goes away, and it gets easier every time. Probably same thing for performing. I've not performed.
You'll get hooked on releasing stuff, because you'll like that feeling of like, oh, it's out.
It
I
feels good,
can't
yeah.
change it. I can't touch it. People can find it. You'll kind of get like hooked on that because it does. It's like gratifying. Like something's complete and it's done and it's out.
Yeah, and it feels good. Like trying to do YouTube, do some more YouTube stuff.
Okay. Anything you feel like will keep you from picking up a bass this year?
That keep me from?
Yeah, like
There was nothing to
the
stop.
month. Yeah, like what? Do you have a bass or
No.
anything like that?
I have to, so my girlfriend and I have a deal right now. I have to propose to her, and then she'll buy me a bass.
So maybe that's like.
I gotta do it by March though. So you know.
Dang,
Alright.
March.
Yeah, better be a nice bass.
No, I'm going with her. I'm going with her. I'm gonna pick it out.
Yeah.
Everything I told her.
Your ring.
Get something good.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully. That's one of the things keeping me from playing bass. Yeah.
Crazy. Cool. Thank you, man, for sharing.
Thank you.
I'm normally behind the boards and making the beats. I guess I just play it since and I produce, I make the beat.
You making me lose my mind. Got me losing my
Alright, so last time I was here, I started a beat, but there was no way I'm gonna get a Janet Jackson sample cleared. So I went back and redid it and cut everything, but I also have a new tag that I wanted to try on this song, so without further ado, here we go. So I'll play 2 half beat system.
Okay.
And then this one right here, I actually just sold to an artist because there was a couple young artists got killed in Seattle, so they wanted a song to make a memorial to them. So I did this one. Just a little.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
That's nice. Your beats are always super clean. Like
Yeah.
you can tell you have that ear for a good mix, you know, like a radio friendly mix. Like
Yeah, and
there's
that one,
nothing
and that one,
overpowering.
I didn't actually. I put a little pre-mix on it, but
Yeah.
not really. I just sent it to them because he's like, I need something. And I sent it like, I got this. It's not mixed yet. And I sent them the stems, so they're doing all that right now.
That's cool. I like that.
Thanks, bro.
Wait, what's your goal?
Oh,
What's my goal?
Yeah, for the year.
Actually, I just got my LLC for my label,
Nice.
and I also just started a separate production company called SNS with a guy from Seattle. His name's Sauce Gordon, so it's Sherman Sauce. So, and we're catering to basically established artists. We actually have deals in place with Warner Brothers and Empire Records.
Nice.
So people who have budgets already.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I got the deal with Empire basically back to back off the Mozzie record I just did.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Dope,
You know.
dude.
Congrats.
yeah, because that Mozzie record, they told me 2 days before Christmas that they're releasing it as a single here coming. So I'm like,
Congrats,
I was like,
bro.
that's my Christmas present. Thank
There
you
you
for
go.
me. I can't wait
Dude,
for
that's
that
a
to
big.
drop.
That's a big one.
Is that the one you played last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
that was
sick.
good. That's a good song.
Yeah, that was yeah, I played you guys the rough draft of it. So
So just pushing the label forward and.
yeah,
and stuff.
I got four EPs ready for that. I'm doing 2 more. My goal is every other month to
Okay.
drop a new one with the artists that I have right now.
Okay, nice. Is that just a matter then of like time and effort on your end, or are you working with finding new artists then to continue that every other month thing? Or?
I'm working with a couple, and it's just basically continue what I've been doing. Anybody who follows me, if you look up my name, I got 5 albums out, but a couple of them are compilations with unsigned artists.
Okay.
And that's what I do is I reach out to people, you know, we do songs. If you do a song and oh, this guy's got talent. Like there's one on mine, if you look at my name, there's an album called Unexpected. What happened was I sent a guy in Vegas, I sent him a beat pack. I sent him 8 beats. He sent me back a song to everyone. I liked it so much, I just dropped the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that was unexpected, here you go. Put it all out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect that. I was like, here's 8 beats, you know, we'll pick a few, we'll go through. No, he sent me back a song to everyone. He's a beast. And I just like, hey, man, send me the raw vocals. They're like, why? I said, man, I'm dropping all this. So I put the whole album out.
That's awesome. So is that, I mean...
And now we're doing Unexpected Part 2. And I never put it
Okay.
out on a CD. And I already got the covers made, so we're going to have, because there's only 8 songs on one, so we're going to have 1 and 2 on one disc.
Okay.
So it's going to be good.
So is that, I mean, you're working with like a bunch of unsigned and stuff, artists, and you said people are reaching out to you, you're reaching out to them, and then from that, you're kind of like, this guy's a standout, this guy's a standout.
Basically trying to
Okay.
find out, trying to build a little, you know, little I can and push from there.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
I got the distribution, I got all this stuff going, and I'll just, you know, I got one thing I pride myself on is networking. I know, like, I can call him, hey, I need this video done, I need this done. You know, I got, you know, male and female, you know, vocalists, hey, I need a hook done.
Nice.
So I just, like, there was a natural progression. Okay, I've already been doing this. Why not just, you know, actually put a label name on it and let's go.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for like networking and connecting with like
Don't be
variety of
scared.
people?
The worst somebody's gonna say is no.
Yeah.
True.
But if you don't ask,
It's no anyway.
you're never, basically, if you, the worst, basically my rule of life right now is, I don't wanna live with any what ifs, okay? I mean, like you guys are younger, I just, on the 8th, I just turned 43. I don't wanna live with a what if. So, I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna ask somebody, I'm gonna do this. Worst they're gonna say is no, because if I don't ask, I already lost. I've already defeated myself because I didn't even put myself out there to ask, because you never know. Like, okay, so the first project I did, I didn't know the guy. I grew up listening to him. A friend put me in touch, so I called Jerry Long, who goes by Cocaine. Been around forever, since Eazy-E days and Snoop and them. Hey, I got a song, you'd be perfect on the hook. Would you mind doing it? He listened to the beat and he goes, hell yeah. He didn't want nothing. He just said, run with it. Have a good time with it. Because he felt my idea. Because my idea was I wanted to have people from different cities do a song called, basically, you know, Rep My City. And that's what we did. And I wanted him to sing the hook. I said, it's kind of like when I grew up on the time when you are, we're all in the same gang and, you know, records like that from the early 90s, you know, when I was growing up. And he was like, yeah, let's go with it. So I did that, and there's 4 different MCs I got one from Indianapolis, Arizona, Seattle, and all these, and it's about repping your city wherever you're from. And I got Cocaine to sing on the hook, and that was all because I asked him, I told him my idea, and then I wanted him to do it. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it for you. But if I wouldn't have just asked, I would have never got that.
and it was a thoughtful ask too. It wasn't just like you spammed 10 different or 100 people.
No, I just happened to be in town. He was gonna be in the studio working with somebody else, and I just, hey, can I talk to you for a minute?
Thanks.
I had this idea, song, and I've been thinking about who would do the hook. I think you'd be the best one. And he was like, send me the track. I sent it to him. He did it, and I was like,
That's a good point too, being intentional. Cause like, as an artist and as a producer, you'll get asked more things or you'll have more inquiries than you will like actual business. So people be like, oh, I like this, let's collaborate, let's work on this. Oh, like, I want to send you some beats and they never do. Or, oh, you know, I want to use one of your beats and they never hit you back. Those aren't like intentional, but when you're like, hey man, I made this beat and I think you would sound good on it, like, I'm going to respond to that if I saw it.
yeah,
But
that's
if it's
exactly
just
what I
like
do.
a
I made
link-
something, I think you sound great on it.
Yeah,
Um,
intentional.
you know, or you just send people music. People are like, I don't want to give myself away. Why not?
It's not, you're not
I gave
doing
away
anything
100
with-
beats. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I still own it. I still own the publishing on that beat. So you make a song, it blows up, I'm gonna still get paid. It don't matter. I may have not got money up front, but anybody who's actually in for a business, play the long game. Don't play the short game. That
Yeah.
short money up front, you know, you get a little, you know, I do have a website. Yeah, I have people that give me a little bit of money up front, but I'd rather have, you know, give somebody 5 beats, have them use it, and have the publishing on the back end, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think I told the story last time about my friend Michael Wansley from Seattle.
Oh yeah.
He's a singer. And he went into the studio. This is my business lesson I'll never forget. They said, I can give you money on the back end, or we can give you a fee up front to sing this hook. He's like, this song's kind of corny. I'll take the fee up front. He kicks himself every day in the ass because he sang the hook for Thrift Shop.
Oh man.
All right. Over 10 million sold on a single.
Yeah.
Over 1 billion views on YouTube. And he says that, man, he tells it all the time. He'll tell you the same thing, man. I lost a good 7+ million because I took the payment up front and didn't take percentage on the back end. Yeah, I got a Grammy out of it, but I didn't get paid like they did.
To be fair, if I feel like Thrift Shop would have been something I would have also been like, this is corny.
Because they called him at like 2, 3 in the morning, and he went did it. He's like, nah, this song's kind of corny. Like, you got money up front. But now it blew up, and he's like, oh, fuck.
That's crazy.
You know, so I learned from that. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather take the money in the back end because you never know.
But that's just bad business. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna ask for both. That's what I'm entitled to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're a singer, you're on it.
I mean, he gets. I know he gets some, but he doesn't get as much.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you negotiate. But yeah, you're entitled to both producer and
But
artist.
he's known for not being the best businessman.
That's real.
Well, and if he's just there representing himself on the spot, and he's like, hey, they're offering me money right now, like, we can all fall into that trap. But yeah, you gotta know your worth for sure.
That's
You
on
gotta-
the split sheet.
Yeah, he just.
It's crazy.
It's a business lesson. Turned out to be one of the biggest songs. Like,
Yeah.
That's it.
I'd have kicked myself too.
That's wild.
I'd have done more than kick myself.
That's.
I mean, because I when I was in high school, I used to live. I grew up in Auburn, Washington. I lived right down the block from Sherm Beatz. Still making money to this day off a stupid. I like big butts. So I'm like, you still go by his house, man. He got Bentleys in front. I'm like, because it went everywhere. Then Nicky used it and everything. It's because he owned the publishing.
Yeah.
That's why, man, I want to own that publishing.
For sure. You don't have to.
God, that's torture.
Are those so? I noticed like some of the drum samples. I mean, I don't know. Do you record any live drum samples? Or?
I do, but I didn't on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because they're less compressed than a lot of hip hop cymbals and
Oh,
raps
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Because I was using more like boom bap stuff as
Uh-huh.
opposed to like drum machines. It's more like sample based, like
Okay.
that vinyl sample. I have another one that has vinyl on it, but yeah, I just chop it up. So instead of having like a part play, I chop it up so I can play individual
Mhm.
moments.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're playing them out on like an MPC or
Yeah.
drum machine.
Yeah, I was using a push kit, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, each little like phrase is a thing.
Okay. How long do you sit there trying to get the pattern that you want, or does it usually come pretty quick?
Well, you just like chop it up, and then there's gonna be random stuff there, and you just find the good ones
Yeah.
and delete the ones that aren't
Okay,
gonna work,
gotcha.
and put them together. And,
Gotcha.
but usually that's where the magic comes from. It's like, okay, this song sucks. I'm not gonna listen to it.
Mhm.
Like from vinyl, the original piece, I'm not gonna
Mhm.
listen to 3 seconds of it. But if you chop it up, it's like you get little like almost like vocal ad libs, but it's
Okay.
musical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stabs, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Should I play something else, or I don't know?
Yeah, if you've got something else for it.
This is kind of a different sound. Okay, adjust it if it gets loud.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't say I made it on my own. In fact, I haven't made it yet at all. Not until my music paid my bills. And my account stopped getting overdrawn.
Like that.
Clean, clean,
Yeah,
clean,
I like
clean,
that a
clean,
lot.
clean.
Thank you. That's tight.
That was really good.
So what is your role in this?
My role, everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So it's my vocals. The reason the hook sounds different is because I recorded at my parents' house, and it had to be quiet. I was about
No, that adds
I
such
know
a
that
cool
was
effect.
that added,
That's not
it
I
added
thought that
like
was
a rasp to
intentional.
your voice, and it actually sounded super fucking dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
just me trying to be quiet, but like.
Word.
Yeah, honestly, I try to play like I realize I do this unintentionally, but each song has like, even if it's all me, each part sounds different. So it's like I'm playing a character.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Man.
See, I thought for sure there was a feature or two on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, something like that.
Dang.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. I don't know. There was so much in there that was just like relatable, and it's very much like just the pace and every word. You're like listening to every single word. And
Oh, that's dope, dude.
It's a song you could play again. It's
Yeah,
one of those songs
yes.
in the car that like before it ends
Yes.
you click back.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
hear the intro again.
Repeat
Dude, that's a
one
huge
joke.
compliment.
No, that was nice.
It was good.
And I love the length of it. It's not like
Yeah,
8
yeah.
minutes long. You know what I mean? Like that makes it repeatable too.
Yeah.
Like when it's 2.5 minutes, I'm gonna at 2 minutes 20 seconds, I'm gonna start it over. Like that was good. That's a
Thanks,
driving
man.
song.
Yeah.
That's actually what I try to make is like down tempo, because I like my heart to be relaxed by the music, and so like 110, because I love
My
Daft
BPM
Punk.
was
That was
fire.
what's that?
The BPM was really
Oh
good.
yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
You can't.
So yeah, I keep it under like 120 is like dancing pace, right? You're
Mhm.
feeling good, but 110 is like serotonin releasing. No, but like I keep it a little bit slower because I'm like I listened to a Drake interview and he said he made music like driving at night too. I'm like, fuck me too.
My
like,
goodness.
That's just-
that
that
sums
shit's
up
dope.
the song.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
the
that's
street
good.
lights right now.
Yeah, that's
cruising
like-
down the road.
Yeah, dude, that's
In
what
the
I.
middle- Yeah.
If you did a video
That's
for that,
exactly how
actually,
I,
just realized it.
when I do stuff or people send me back songs, I'll put it on a playlist and I'll drive and listen to
Mm.
it. If I can't listen to the whole song and
Mm.
it doesn't come out, man, I'm like, nope, next.
Because you can focus on every detail because you're only thinking about driving. You're not thinking about all the shit you got to do. It's
Yeah,
just a song
you just
and then
listen.
you're driving.
So
Yeah.
how do you decide that it's enough? Because it's a pretty simple song. Like
That's the key for me. It's like as few elements as possible because one is less things to mix and
Uh-huh.
things like, oh man, where's that hum coming from or where's that little hiss coming from? You got to solo every channel.
Mhm.
Like I'm so fucking lazy, dude. I do my shit the fastest way possible,
Uh-huh.
and then I just start refining stuff. So like we were making the first beat meetup we came here. Everyone's trying to find like the perfect snare to get. I'm like, no, get the whole beat going. and then swap out the snare, so then you get the whole feel of the song first.
Yeah.
Instead of like, because then you know that moment, that spark, like, oh man, I'm gonna make a song right now, it's gonna be dope. And then you get stuck like tuning something, and then you're fucking bored. You don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And you lose
Like,
the
man, you
feeling
took
that
3
you
hours
had.
to find a snare, man, and I forgot what I wanted to say.
Yeah, if you like, it's awesome. Like, but I would set aside time. Like, okay, I'm just gonna look for a snare, and then in finding a snare, you'll make a whole song. Just like, damn, the snare sounds good. And then it's like, because if you try to do, it's like trying to clean up an area before you work. It's like, no, just work and then clean up when you're very end. Don't clean up as you go.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna say the opposite, because for me, cleaning is getting me in the mindset of like, I'm preparing myself mentally for what comes next.
How are you cleaning though? Because the way I'm saying it, trying to phrase, like, I'm not gonna perfect the EQ and then the reverb and then move on to the next instrument. I'm gonna get the main ideas, slap them down. You know what I mean? Like if, when you're sculpting with clay, you don't like refine. Okay, there's a foot and then you still got a block.
Yeah.
You start getting like the arms and then legs, and then you start fine tuning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
And so like, but.
So how many times when you're making this song, you're not looping it, are you? Like,
How do you mean?
I mean, so a lot of people, myself included, when I'm making a beat, it's like looping over and over, adding in stuff, looping over and over, and by the time I'm like so far down the road, I've heard the song like a billion times.
Yeah. So in Ableton,
are you stopping it or like?
Do I just let it play?
Yeah. Do you let it play, or is it like? Because I feel like the more it plays, the less I lose the original feeling that I had when I first like made the thing that I.
So
liked.
you never hit stop? Is that what you're saying?
No, I do, and I've gotten better at like not letting it play because I start losing the feeling that I had.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you just let it go? What's
Well, it
your
depends.
process
Like, okay, so I recorded the guitar. Of course, I'm gonna play it back to see that I've got it right.
Sure.
But as far as like looping it, yeah, that's how I work on it.
Yeah.
So like, I'll start a song. Like, say, sometimes it's the drums, sometimes it's the keys, like the chords, melody, right, or whatever. So you start with that, and then you add the drums. So in Ableton, it's like Excel spreadsheet. So you have like blocks. So I got, okay, my drums, bass, keys.
Yeah.
So once I got those in a good loop, I'll put them over in my arrangement view. And so then I start, okay, I don't want the bass line to play for the chorus. Or I'll put a different bass line. And so like you start arranging it that way.
Right.
But I do let it loop at first while I'm, like I said, getting the main idea.
Yeah.
And then in arrangements when I fine tune everything. Yeah. But the reason like my shit sounds so differently is because I have a different process. So if I want it to sound boom bappy, I'm gonna sample vinyl. I'm gonna play the drums myself. I'm not gonna click them in. If I want it to sound trappy, I'll click the notes in, everything quantized or, you know, mixed soulful. But like whatever the technique is, helps to determine the music. Like you don't need anything more than this to make music, and everybody knows that, right? But it's more fun when you touching stuff and you have buttons and keys. It's more fun, and if you're enjoying the process, you're gonna do it.
I agree with him on the boom bap thing. I love to actually set my pads up and actually play it. Man.
You feel more loose. I won't take up all the time.
Yeah. Cool. And do you have anything you want to speak about as far as like something you're trying to achieve this year?
This is gonna sound crazy, but I want to listen to more music because I listen to almost zero music. Like just long enough to take a shower, then I'm out. Because I'm like so saturated and like hearing the radio. Like the reason I hate the radio is the songs are always in the middle of the song, and so you always hear the same shit. But if they were like somehow as soon as you close the door, it starts from the beginning, it wouldn't be so bad. Anyway, this is shit I think about.
Yeah.
But I think. What was I even talking about?
Something you're wanting to listen to more music.
Oh yeah. I want to actually like sit down and like take it because I have like stacks of records that I'm like oh yeah, I'm gonna have a Kanye day and just sit around and listen to vinyl for samples. Fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna pick those dusty things up. Like I'm so lazy, and so I want to like spend time listening to music, not so much to like see what people are doing, but just to be like, have I ever done this? Like have I ever heard? Because like you can take inspiration from what somebody's already done, because there's no way you're gonna predict what they're gonna do. Draw from there. So I think that's fair. Like as long as you're not stealing and saying that you did it, I think it's like it's with like a sample claiming.
Yeah.
If it weren't for like the artist getting paid, it should be enough to get credit. You know what I mean? But that's how they make their money, so it makes sense.
I know what you mean. Want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah. So I've met like half of you maybe, and half of you I haven't. But I'm Cam. That's my real name. I go by Cam Stone. It's my real. I don't have a stage name. My full name's Cameron, so I guess I'm lying a little bit. I've been doing music this is my 4th year. I've gone on like 2 tours. I've done probably 50 plus shows. Like I'm just trying to grind. But I started on SoundCloud doing like a song every other week, and then I got on all platforms. I have 9 songs uploaded on DistroKid. So for the next 9 weeks, I have a song coming out every Friday, and I did that as like a jumping without a parachute thing. Just like they're uploaded. I can't touch them. They're gonna come out every week. So I'm gonna play you a couple of the ones that are coming out. Last week we talked about going out of your comfort zone, and I use a lot of splice samples, and I need to stop because I actually can play instruments, and I want to get better at that. So what I did to kind of train myself to play instruments again is I started playing stuff I already know. So you know that like 80s song that like
Yeah.
I just played around with those, but I made a beat out of it. So I made this song. This one's not to be taken seriously, but this is the first one. I made these both this week too.
Fuck your Gucci handbag, fuck your Gucci shirt. It costs more than what it's worth. It costs more than what it's worth. Yeah, you can keep your Xannies and your Addies and your perks. It costs more than what it's worth. It costs more than what it's worth. Yeah, fuck your Louis handbag, fuck your Louis shirt. It costs more than what it's worth. It costs more than what it's worth. Yeah, you can keep your Xannies and your Addies and your perks. It costs more than what it's worth. It costs more than what it's worth. Yeah, fuck your Gucci handbag.
So I'm trying to do it where I kind of use the same notes, but not play it exactly. Like it wasn't na 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 na. So, anyone here listen to Metallica growing up?
Yeah.
So One by Metallica where it's like meow 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 meow. Dude, those 3 notes are begging to be used. So this one's more serious. That one's still gonna come out because it's a fucking banger. But this one's like a little more dark and serious. I really liked what you said about just like being in the moment and then getting it all recorded and then going back and fucking with it. That's what I did with this one. I made the beat, and before I had even closed it as a beat, I recorded vocals. So I did it all in one sit down, and then I listened to it in my car, and then I edited it. So
2 hours later, you realize you haven't saved yet.
yeah, I was like, oh my god, I should save early, save often. So this one's coming out in 2 weeks. I'm gonna play it loud. This is more the style I usually do, is this kind of singing.
Where's my love now? Childhood died on a come down.
The tone you use for those notes is great.
God damn. Holy shit.
That is.
When's that dropping?
Huh?
When's that dropping?
January 24th, whatever that Friday is. I think it's the 24th.
Cool.
I have one coming out 17th, which is the day before our show.
Okay.
And then the 20th. There's literally one every Friday.
I'm getting that one. That one's good. That one's amazing. Actually, they're both pretty amazing.
I really didn't want it to be. I almost sampled the Metallica song, but I was like, that's too obvious, and I don't know how to even do drums to that. Whereas if I just play the keys, I can like, it's lowered in pitch. I added some drums, like, yeah, that one was like one of those I didn't even think about. Like it was just like I made it.
I actually really liked the tone, though, the sound selection that you used for it. And
Like
so,
the feedbacky kind of stuff.
yeah,
too.
well, no, in just the the Metallica notes you played, even like it changes the vibe a little bit, and I mellowed it out a little bit. I
Yeah,
think,
totally.
and really blended.
And that's
it
just a
too.
grand piano with the whole top end taken out.
Okay.
So it's just the low end of a grand piano. But yeah,
The vocals were like super clean.
thanks, man. That's
Way,
what I
way,
really,
way clean.
really work on.
Holy shit.
That's like my main bread and butter is trying to make my voice sound good.
Anything? What's this year look like for you?
Dude, I already have the next 8 weeks of music coming out. That feels really good.
Yeah.
I recommend scheduling your releases early because it feels really good to know something's coming out and to kind of plan for it. But yeah, dude, I have a tour. So you guys remember Drake Bell from Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
So I'm going on tour with him in February. So that's coming up. And then I have 2 shows to prepare for that tour. So after that tour, I just bought a camera, so I want to kind of do the Code of the Friend thing and do little webisode videos, just like putting out visuals to every song. But yeah, man, just around 2-minute songs coming out every week and at least some sort of visual to them. is like all my focus for this year. The shows will come as they come. Like I have a manager, so he's the one that hooked me up with this tour. So whenever he calls, I just say yes and go wherever they tell me to. I'm not too worried about that. I would like to do our own thing.
Mhm.
I think it'd be cool to put on our own show and say we did it and bring our fans in and our friends in to see what we do. But the main goal, dude, is like, I kind of had a similar situation that you were talking about where you're like, you know, you don't want to do shows, or like your living situation, you can't really record. I figured the one thing I could control was my presence, at least on the internet. Like, I don't have any shows coming up. I'm too broke to even go film a music video, but I can lock myself in my room and make 9 songs and stagger those out. And that is what pushed me through that winter hump of like, dude, nothing's coming out. I don't have any shows coming up. And literally just locking myself in my room and focusing on that. I got shows out of it that I wasn't expecting. It's almost like you find things when you're not looking for them, kind of thing. So I found if I just keep my head down and I just keep putting out music, other things take care of themselves, at least in the sense of, oh, Sam sent me some beats, great, now that saves me a week of making beats. Or this person heard my last song and now they want to do a video, great, I didn't even really do anything. You're planting that seed every time you press upload, every time you press save, you know, like, so that's the big thing. I was like, I did that in the beginning. In 2016, that's all I did. And then somewhere along the way, I got too focused on shows or videos or this. And I'm like, I'm just going to treat it like it's 2016 again and no one knows who the fuck I am. And I have to prove it all over again. So that's my speech.
Have you had to like change your process at all, knowing you're putting out a song a week?
I've had to change my, I don't want to say standards, but I've had to change my expectations. I would rather have a song done and ready to go than have this album I'm like stressing over and working on. You know what I mean? Like I've had to change my mindset. My process hasn't changed. If anything, it's gotten faster because you know, like I'm just like that last song I played. I did that all in one day, and I remember even being kind of like, wow, I'm surprised that is finished now. So it's not that the process changed, but the thought process did. The thought process is now, get this done before, you know, the sun goes down, or get this done before you log off for the day. And then when I wake up tomorrow, I'm waking up finished. Like the slate is clean. If I go to bed with stuff still working on, like I'll just wake up and I'll not want to work on it again. I'll get sick of it.
That is one thing to like those challenge things, like a beat a day or 30 days of beats or 365 days or whatever, that I found is really good. Is it does push you to just like make something and be done with it, and then move on to the next day, and then you do notice your process speeds up significantly.
Like muscle
you
memory.
Can get ideas out a lot faster.
And when you create things in bulk, which I am a huge recommender, like I support creating things in bulk, because even if you had a week where you made 9 beats and you never listen to those beats for 3 months, 3 months later you're gonna hear one of them and be like, wait a minute, I could do something with this. So like I'm a big believer in just making something for the sake of making it, even if you're not gonna. I made one last night just because I couldn't fall asleep, so I made a beat. It's terrible. I probably won't use it, but who knows? In 9 months, I might listen to it and go like, oh, I could actually use this.
If you're on my Facebook, I'm live all the time, like 4, 5, 6 in the morning, making beats. You're like, does dude ever sleep?
Dude, I gotta follow you. I need something to watch.
I'm like, listen, I can't sleep.
Dude,
all the time.
Lack of sleep is the best creative motivator.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, guys.